Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while since I posted, but earlier in May I was preparing for finals, and then I went on a vacation during summer break, so I was unable to post, but now I'm back and I'm able to post again. I'm really excited to do videos again and to help you guys out, but I do have a very important announcement, so if you guys could stay to the end to listen more about that would be great. But anyways, without further ado, let's head on to my video about using substitution. So it's way easier to explain this as I'm doing a problem. So I'm going to be doing a problem step by step and explaining to you what all the steps mean and just how to use substitution in general. So let's say we have 2x plus 5y is equal to 19 and y is equal to 3x minus 3. So you might be thinking it's impossible to solve an equation with two variables when we don't know one. However, we actually do know one, because we know y is equal to 3x minus 3. So we could plug in what we know is y into where y is supposed to be in the other equation. So we get 2x plus 5 in parentheses 3x minus 3 is equal to 19. Then we can go ahead and do 2x plus 15x minus 15 is equal to 19 once we use the distributive property. And then we will go ahead and balance out the equation by adding 15 to one side, and that will give us 34 on one side. And then on the other side, we will also be adding 2x and 15x, which will give us 17x. But to isolate the x, we have to divide by 17, so we'll get x is equal to 2. So now we know one of the variables. We can go ahead and plug in that variable for where it's supposed to be. This way we can find out what the second variable is. So we can go ahead and plug in 2 for x. We'll get y is equal to 3 times 2 minus 3. Then we'll get 6 minus 3, and that is y is equal to 3. Now, what do these mean? Well, in the beginning, those two equations I gave you are actually two different linear lines. And those linear lines intersect at one point. And that point is 2 for the x and y and 3 for the y. So that is where they intersect on the graph. So instead of graphing the whole equation, we can use substitution or another method called elimination that I can teach you all in a future video if you guys would love to see that. But right now we're focusing on substitution. But it shows us where they intersect. Now this problem is a bit easier, but y is equal to x minus 4 and x plus y is equal to 10. So again, we know what y is. So we can plug in what we have for y in this for where y is in the second equation. Then we'll get x plus x minus 4 is equal to 10. But we'll have to balance out the equation, so we get x plus x is equal to 14. 2x is equal to 14 once we simplify that further, and the final simplification step is to divide by 2, so we get x is equal to 7. But we're not done because we still need to figure out what the y is. But this should be pretty simple as we already know what one of the variables are. So we can do y is equal to x minus 4, and we go ahead and plug in what we have for x, which is 7. So y is equal to 7 minus 4. That way, we get y is equal to 3. So as you can see, a substitution comes in really handy because we don't have to just plot the whole entire graph. We can just go ahead and kind of plug in what we already have. This makes it easier to find out the intersection point between two lines. It's also very fast and effective, so I definitely recommend mastering substitution. We're going to do one more problem before you guys do a few problems on your own. So for this next problem, we have y minus x is equal to 6. And then we also have y minus 7 is equal to 2x. Now this one's a bit different, because we don't exactly have one equation that says y is equal to blank, but if we just take one of the equations, I took the first one, and we add x to the other side, then we have y is equal to 6 plus x. And that is equal to the original equation. At the end, I will also check to make sure that they are the same, but when you do this, you can actually use the substitution method. So now we have our two new equations, y minus 7 and equal to x, which was the original one we had, and y is equal to 6 plus x. So we go ahead and plug in y is equal to 6 plus x where y was, and then we'll go ahead and simplify, subtract x from both sides. We'll get x is equal to negative 1. Now, negatives can be on graphs. There is always negatives on graphs when they extend, like to the either to the left or when they extend down. So just because it's a negative, don't feel threatened, because it can be a negative. So next, we can just go ahead and plug in what we have for x into one of the equations, and we'll get y is equal to 5. So now, as I promised, I'm going to show you guys that the two equations that we had in the beginning are in fact equal. So we're going to go ahead and take what we have for x and what we have for y and plug it in. So for the first one, we'll have y, which is 5, is equal to 6 plus and then minus 1. And then the second one, and that is equal to 5, that is like a true statement. 5 is equal to 5. And the next one is 5 minus negative 1 is equal to 6. And the two negatives create a positive, and 5 plus 1 is equal to 6, and 6 is equal to 6. So as you can see, those two equations do work, and they are both true statements. So we could have used either of them if we were using graphing, but in this case, the reason why we changed one of the equations was so that we can use our substitution method. Now you all are going to do two practice problems all by yourselves. So the first one is x plus y is equal to 24, and the second one is 2x minus y is equal to negative 6. Now, this one you are going to have to use the knowledge that we learned just now, but for this one, the second one, it's easier because it's negative 4 plus 3y is equal to negative 2, and y is equal to x minus 1. You'll have 2 minutes. Did you do it? We are going to go ahead and check if you got the correct answers. So for the first one, I'm going to go ahead and convert the first equation so that we have something we can substitute. And in order to do this, I subtracted x from both sides, so I got y is equal to 24 minus x. And then we also have 2x minus y is equal to -6. We keep this equation the exact same. And since we know a value for y, we're going to go ahead and plug it in to the other equation. So we'll have 2x minus 24 minus x is equal to -6. And then we have to distribute the negative sign, or pretend that we're distributing -1. So we'll have 2x minus 24 plus x is equal to -6. Then, once we simplify, we'll have 3x minus 24 is equal to -6. We add 24 to both sides. We will get 18 is equal to 3x. And then after that, we'll go ahead and divide by 3 to isolate the x completely, and we'll get x is equal to 6. But we still have to find out what y is. So we'll go ahead and plug x in for y is equal to 24 minus x. So we'll have y is equal to 24 minus 6. And once we simplify that, we get y is equal to 18. So our final answer is x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 18. The next equation is a bit different since we don't need to convert any of the equations. We can go ahead and take in what we have for y and take x minus 1, plug that in to the first equation, so we get -4x plus 3x minus 1 is equal to -2. Then once we use the distributive property, we would have -4x plus 3x minus 3 is equal to -2. Then we go ahead and simplify, and we get -x minus 3 is equal to -2. And then we're going to go ahead and add 3 to both sides, get -x is equal to 1, and then we just divide by -1, and then we'll get x is equal to -1. So now that we know what x is, we can go ahead and plug it into one of our equations. So we'll have y is equal to x minus 1, but since we know that x is equal to -1, we can go ahead and plug it in, and we'll get y is equal to -1 minus 1, and that is -2. So we get y is equal to -2, and we have x is equal to -1. And that is our answer, and that is where the two lines intersect. Congrats, you made it to the end of this video. Whether it's you needed help with this concept, you wanted some extra practice, or you just wanted to review, I hope you learned something or got some extra practice in. It'd mean the world to me if you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a brand new video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. It just tells me if I need to change anything. And if you have any suggestions for any of my videos, make sure that you leave a comment on my discussion page or in my comment section. In the beginning of this video, I explained that I'll be having a small announcement at the end, so here's the small announcement. So this year, with everything going back in person, and I'm also going to have a lot more work on my plate since I'm in 8th grade, which means I need to apply to high schools this year. So I have a lot more work to do. But I still want to help you guys, and I still want to post content for you guys. But I might be only be able to post once a week instead of twice a week. But I'll still make sure to put quality content for you guys so that you guys can still learn. I would love to continue doing YouTube into the future, and right now I just think it will be easier for me, and it will allow me to provide better content for you guys if I just only do it once a week. But I'll still be posting for you guys, so I hope that's okay. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye!